This podcast, bussin'.
Welcome to this.podcast. I'm your friendly host, Jay, joined by my friend. We got Co.
Man, what we talking about?
And Uncle Damo is out, but I'm going to hit his drop.
Hi, my name's Uncle Damo.
You could catch us on all major streaming platforms and video on YouTube. Shout out to the incredible Lawrence and Larimer for providing the space. You could catch them at 3225 East Colfax Avenue, or you can go to lawrenceandlarimer.com and get the latest fall drip.
Yep.
Is that what they saying these days, Code? Drip? I want to make sure I'm saying the right lingo.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good?
We're good. We're certified. We're stamped.
Right. We stamped?
We're stamped.
All right. Without further ado, the reason why we got to make sure we have our terminology correct is because we have this young lady that is a business owner of Body by Towel, and they believe that nature has the power to heal, nourish, and restore. Rediscover the beauty of natural skincare and move away from toxic synthetic products forever. We want to welcome Natalia King to the pod. Yes. You hear that guy in the back? He's excited to hear. We're excited too. This has been a long time in the making. The three of us, well, I met Co ages ago, but we were all together on a short of ours at the block party at the Clayton.
Yep.
Shout out to Joss Blake. She was the one that put it together. And
Michelle Trail.
Yeah. I can't forget Michelle. She was the one that made it really happen.
Yes.
But you were just the most interesting guest we had in that short.
By far.
Yeah, and young, so educated when it came to a lot of things, but specifically herbal. I want to make sure I say this. I've been working on this all day. Apothecary.
Yeah, you did it.
Apothecary. You said it. Thank you. And just natural, being natural, getting away from processed foods, all that good stuff, right? And we'll get into that. But yeah, that's how it happened, and here we are today. So we're excited to have you.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So before we get into things, let's talk about your association to Colorado, right?
Yes.
We were talking behind the scenes of just how you got out here and everything as far as roots in Oklahoma, Texas, and then you moved out here when you were...
I moved out here... Antonio, when did we move out here? I think I was like 16 years ago. If I'm 27, how much is that? Around that time.
You were like 11 years ago?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
11 years old.
Yeah, 11
years old when you...
I think around 11 years old, we moved out here, and I went to elementary school here. I went to middle school here and high school here and college here. So
Got it.
I've been here for a long while. I like to say I'm still from Oklahoma and Texas because I go back there so often, and my dad still lives there, my sisters and my grandpa, a lot of my family, my aunts and uncles and cousins. So very connected to both places, but I've created a beautiful home and family, here in Colorado as well.
Awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, because Oklahoma is like one of the four corners. What is the other three, Co? It's us, Oklahoma. Can you name the other two?
Arizona.
And?
Nebraska.
No, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Not Arizona, New Mexico, and...
Oh, Utah.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, a little trivia there.
I'm so glad you asked.
Man, I passed my geography test.
You did.
Yes.
So you went to high school at Regis, right? And you were an athlete
Yeah,
at
I
Regis?
played volleyball
Oh.
through college too.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
another thing we noticed at the block party. You were like the tallest woman
I'm
there.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you're like at least 6 foot.
I'm 6. Well, according to like the doc, 5'11" and a half. But as soon as I put shoes on, I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'1". I wear heels.
On
so
the
I wore
stat sheet,
heels,
you was
so 6'4"
Yeah.
that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's
Got
talk
it.
about that. So a college athlete, toughest gym to play. to play
Toughest
in.
what?
Toughest gym to play in.
Gym to play?
Yeah.
Like
Away.
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 Yeah.
Away game. Crowd.
Toughest crowd.
Loud.
I don't know.
No, you don't know?
Yeah.
Crowd means nothing to you.
Tune it out.
Tune it out.
Yeah. I wouldn't say toughest. I think like our rivalry, like who we would bump heads with, but I think the toughest crowd was probably like CSU, CU, just because they were talking mess and we sucked.
What's the worst thing you heard? What's the worst thing you heard?
Oh, this is why you're at UNC.
Yeah.
Okay.
The worst thing I heard, I don't know, like, it would just be funny. It wasn't bad. It's just like they're just talking mess, but you can't really hear everybody.
Yeah.
But that was also a long time ago, and I've had a kid, so I don't remember much. I got through it. It was very traumatizing.
I mean, my son drowns all that out.
Yeah, I drowned it all out. Like,
Right.
I forgot that entire experience.
Yeah, shoot. Oh my gosh.
Well, in volleyball, you played what spot? How does it work in volleyball? Because the only thing I know is like the setter is
That's
like
not
dedicated.
Setter, but okay,
But
we
setter?
got the libero.
Okay.
You got the passers. You got your outside, right side, in the middle, but you rotate, so people are doing more than one thing essentially. Like the outside hitter has to know how to pass, and the right side as well. Middles you can get subbed out, but I was a good server, so I had to serve and pass as well. But yeah, that's how it works. So I was middle blocker.
Utility,
got it.
do it all.
Do it
Yeah.
all.
Whatever you
Yeah.
need me to do, fill in,
Yeah.
make it happen.
Well, I think this will lead into current events and how, talk about body by towel. But as an athlete, because we were asking you behind the scenes of like, hey, when did you go on this journey of, clean eating, putting the right things in your body? Is it fair to say vegan?
No.
Okay.
I'm not vegan.
Got it. So,
Yeah.
explain.
It's holistic, whole foods. I eat a lot of whole foods.
And what
lot
does that
of
mean
local.
exactly?
So whole foods are like your fruits, your vegetables, your beans, your grains, local meat, grass-fed, local eggs, like from our farmers. That's why I was telling you about the farmers markets and things like that. But like just really great quality fruits, veggies, and meats. Eat a lot of seasonal foods. That's like huge. Eating seasonally.
This podcast.
But yeah,
bussin',
I wouldn't.
bussin'.
I'm not vegan, but I do eat mostly plant-based. I think that is really crucial to have that as your base.
Well, so how often do you eat meat?
It depends. Like I'll go 21 days, 3 months. It depends on like how I'm feeling. But I would say if just like a regular cycle, I would do meat like maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And yeah, sometimes I fast and do certain things. Not all the time though.
Right.
Don't get crazy. But I definitely implement that seasonally. Sometimes I do fast once a week though, because sometimes I just want my body to rest and heal and be great for the next day, and men and women are different. So my process is a little different, and I really do stay close to like my cycles as a woman. So that makes any sense
that's
to you?
great to hear, and I'm glad you corrected me because people do think when you talk about holistic foods, just making sure that cleansing, right? Like that gets put on a certain kind of diet, right? And it's refreshing to hear that you say, no, I am definitely a omnivore, for lack of a better term, but the things that I put into my body are high quality is what I hear when I hear that. So that's awesome to hear. And can you talk a little bit about the things, because you say how it makes you feel. Can you kind of equate the feeling of making sure that you have, the high quality foods and how that intertwines with the spirituality of that? Because I think that's a real important connection.
Yeah. So how it intertwined. So initially, like, I didn't really know how it intertwined until I started fasting. My first initial one was a pretty rough one, but I just went 21 days without eating, just liquids. And then at the end of it, I did a water fast, but just like spiritually, like higher thinking, I feel like it allowed me to be more in tune with my purpose. And it was very clear of what I was meant to do on this earth and at this time, right? And I think that's where my old soul came in, and I just stopped going out as much. I stayed in, really just introspective time. But I just feel like, there's like, I call them God foods, right? And God's food are like things that are just naturally created in nature, right? Which is like your fruits and your vegetables and your beans and your nuts and your seeds, right? It's just like when we consume a lot of God's foods, like we have like God's consciousness, like we're leveling up essentially. And I feel as though people are able to see a lot clearer when they, cleanse their body and they're eating a lot cleaner. I think there's a direct correlation. And you'll see that like when people start eating healthier and having healthier habits, they just vibrate on a different level, essentially.
Got it.
But so at what age did you do your first fast?
This was like, what was this? Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I did my very first one. Actually, I was not making great decisions back then. Like this, I think this is my third time going broke in my business, which is crazy because no one would ever know. But I was just struggling. And at that point, it's like I had a house. So I was like, I need my parents' help, all of that. So I just turned to God because I literally was like at rock bottom at the time. And then when I did my fast, it was like I jumped timelines almost. It was like the craziest thing. It's like
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
It's like I switched. Just I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but I remember going on YouTube and people were just talking about their testimonials on like fasting and just how when they wrote down a certain prayer or a certain thing, it really came to fruition. And so I was like, okay, obviously my way is not working, you know what I'm saying? So let me lean on God and, and again, I went to a Catholic school, so a lot of their teachings were off and I wasn't with all of the God stuff. Like I wasn't with it at the time. And so it was really hard for me to connect with God, and so I feel like after that fast I created my own relationship with God. And that's why I always say, like, they're like, Tal, what are you? I'm like, relationship over religion any day, because now I know the relationship I have with God. It's like a different type of feeling. I don't know, but I don't think I would have gotten to that point if I didn't fast and I wasn't just like hungry and just praying, and just fasting's definitely for God.
But so what prompted the fast? Was you like, yo, I'm at this space in my life where I'm really trying to find my purpose, or I'm really trying to find a certain spiritual connection, right? So therefore I'm gonna choose to fast to gain clarity in order to get there. Mm-hmm. What was the impetus to get you to the point to where you said, you know what, I want to try to fast?
I think just knowing that my decision making was like putting not only myself but like my son at a disadvantage, and that didn't feel right, considering like he didn't ask to be here. It's my responsibility. But I think we went to church that Sunday, and I remember the pastor talking about like, we're fasting. This is the fast I'm doing. I'm calling you guys to just give up something. And I think that, like, I don't know, like when he had said it, mind you, I don't like going to church. And so I never went to church. And this is like once in a blue moon. But when he said it, I just started like tearing up immediately, and it just hit differently. And I just knew that I needed to do it. And when like I said, like once I did it, it was just like my life, just everything in all areas of my life just changed completely. Like, I don't even think I'm honestly a new, like, I think when you guys had met me, I was just, I don't know. I think I was in the midst of it. I don't remember. I think it was either afterwards or in the midst of it during that time.
Got it.
Yeah.
I wish Damo was here because he needs to learn about fasting a little bit. I think that'd be good for him. Real quick, before we lose this,
That's not right.
the listeners know. Yeah. You said something interesting just about, okay, let me back up. So, apothecary and herbalism and everything that you practice, you're definitely not a phony and you live it, which is also a part of Body by Tal brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us from the business aspect of the struggles that you just mentioned, if you don't mind, of like how you started, bumps in the road, and now you're in a good spot. If you could take us through that transition or that story.
Well, I'll take you kind of from the beginning. So initially, right after college, I signed up for, I think, about like 72 jobs and got zero. I think I got one interview, and this person came on and he was like, you are telling me everything I want to hear. Like, what do you want to do? And it just was like, whoa, like, you know, because most of the time when we're trying to get jobs, we're telling them what they want to hear.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I was like, okay. So I was like, he's like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, well, something in the holistic realm, I remember. And so my mom actually had a juicing company back in the day, and actually with Natalia, which she's here today.
Shout out to Natalia.
Yeah, shout out to Natalia. They had a juicing company, but they stopped the juicing company, and then people that knew them wanted them to come in a store and like have their own like little storefront within a big place. And so my mom was like, I don't do it anymore, but my daughter makes her own skincare products. Mind you, this was like me homemaking, doing my own thing in her kitchen, not really blasting it and like, you know, whatever the case. So they're like, yeah, come on, like bring her in. So we literally turned, mind you, my son was like so young. I was still breastfeeding, and we turned around a business in 3 months. We built a business in 3 months, staying up until like 4 a.m. every single day, like labeling and like coming up. I think we like wasted about 50 pounds of shea butter just trying to get, I mean, we didn't waste it, but it wasn't, you know, so we came up with all the products and like what we started with, which night and day from what we have now. But it was like a very challenging but beautiful process. I went into, it's called the district shops. It's in Cherry Creek. And it was amazing. It was like all these local stores in one space. And I was one of them. And so essentially, like, I had my friends and family opening, and then we had the big grand opening. And I think when I saw, like, I made all my money back that I spent on it in like the 2 days. And so I was like, okay, wow. Cause you know, I was nervous about my prices, all that. My mom was like, no, like you have to believe in yourself, and this is what you're going to price it. You hand make it all. She was just telling me, like, she's like, no, like you need to stick to this. And so then the second day where it was just like people in general, it was like, okay, I can do this. Like, and people are really rocking with what we're creating. Right. And so then the news channel got a hold to me. Cool. So fast forward, the district shops, I was probably the most, you know, I made the most money in that space. It started going downhill really quickly. I had a lot of crackheads stealing my stuff. Like, it was just really bad. And no, I'm like not kidding. Like, it was
really,
no, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Crackheads were stealing your product.
Yeah. So it basically came kind of like, it's like this huge warehouse, but a lot of people started getting mad and they weren't working their shops anymore. So it was kind of just like me up there alone, and there would be like literal crackheads because they chased them down, got their bag, they had needles and everything in there, and they were stealing a lot of stuff, but telling their friends, I wish I was joking, but no, I was writing down, actually I was writing down in my dream journal is what I call it. It's just like my visions, and you know, and have my back turned towards like all my stuff, and Vince comes up. His name was Vince at the time, and he was like, did that lady pay for all those body butters? And I look, and I'm like, no one's been up here. They stole like all my body butters that I made. And yeah, he chased them down. And
man, crackheads are still anything.
Yeah.
Body butter,
yeah,
like, sell it to
and
the
that's
block.
Why I told him, like, I was like, don't chase after them. They must have really needed it. So I was just like, it's okay. But yeah,
I got this body
Why
butter.
didn't you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, so Natalia, what part of you just said, hey, it's just body butter?
What part? Because what am I gonna do? You know, when crackheads have extra strength, I'm not trying to
get your shit back.
I'm not trying to get it back.
And they well lubricated, evidently. You know like they was getting
like,
their body butter. They
wanted like respectfully, if you need it that bad, please,
need it too.
by all means.
Man, the funny thing about it, man, crackheads don't know nothing about no shea butter.
Well, no, they got bad skin, so that's gonna help
So
them.
they have
That's
to
gonna help them
them,
out.
you
They know how it
so,
go. They like, I
you
need this
know,
I
and I'm
need
like,
this
with
body
me,
butter.
I'm just like, it's okay, like I just, I'm like very much like a people, like, I don't know, like I always think of like, it's crazy, but I always think of like, why did they do that? Like, where'd they come from? Like, I just think of all the things, and then I'm
Glass
just
half
like, it's
full.
not that, I just really, it's just sad, so.
Right.
Well, fast forward, so I had to go out of that space. The space shut down completely. I didn't have an online presence. I didn't have an online presence until probably like a year and a half ago, or like when you guys met me is when it started popping off.
Really?
I did not have an online presence like that. And so I actually had to nanny, and I love the family till this day. And I had a job down here at the Fetch, but that shut down. And so I was doing my stuff on the side and then nannying. And then it got to a point where like literally I would take all of my products, give them to my friends, and like especially the ones that didn't have the best skin, and I'm like, take before and after pictures. And I was just on it, just kind of like hustling in that way. And so then I would post about it and like the before and afters, and that's really how I started getting traction in that realm. So I was just making it shake in my basement. I bought a house and during that time, and then I just, I had one little lifetime table. It was so dark down there, I remember, and I would just make some stuff, and send out orders, because a lot of people at the district shops like really rock with me, but not enough to like maintain like living. And so essentially, again, once I went on that, I got up to like maybe 3,000 followers, and like I was doing pretty well for myself as far as like just hand making stuff. And I was going to pop-ups, farmers markets, like waking up at 4 a.m. to drop Eli off at 5 a.m. and and pop-ups here, pop-ups there. You said, do I go to Denver a lot? Honestly, no. Now that I don't have to do any more pop-ups, I try to stay close to home. Yeah, so I would pack up my whole car. I had a little Prius back then, and I would zoom up to I would zoom up here in Denver.
Prius has some miles.
She gotta have a Prius, man.
That Prius
If she would have said a Bronco, we'd have looked at you for
Hey,
like, what?
hey, listen,
my friends make fun of my Prius all the time.
It's all the vibe. It's all the vibe.
Yeah, so I
Earth girl.
I hustled, and it was so hard on my body, and I would go back to Untitled to get Eli. And some days I didn't even make enough. Like I made enough just to pay her, and I would go back with $0, right? And like I would just be exhausted, and she would be like, Natalia, like it's okay. Like she was so sweet about it. I'm like, no,
supportive.
Here, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she charged me hardly nothing, and it was just so sweet and kind. But I would just go on her couch and knock out, you know what I'm saying? And so she would feed Eli, and and then when my mom came back home, of course, like my parents were very much so involved. Still to this day, like I would not make it without my parents. But during the time of the farmers market like season where I was really out there, like I said, my mom was in Oklahoma doing amazing work. Till this day, she's doing amazing work, but she was there at the time. So anywho, I did not start popping off on social media until I went on my fast, and I got on camera and I talked about fasting and parasite cleansing. This is my very first fast. And I talked about how like God put it on my heart to talk about parasites. That's all I know. I've never heard about parasites. I remember like I went to my holistic doctor, and she was like, oh, you might have parasites. I thought she was crazy, because I'm like, worms, like come on, and honestly,
when
like,
people hear that, it's just like,
exactly. So that was like the first time I ever heard about it, but God put it on my heart heavy. So I was walking in Whole Foods, and I look on the right, and there's one more parasite cleanse left, and I grab it, and then I start taking it, and I saw.
What made you? Let's drill down there. What made you grab it?
I don't know. It was just looking at me.
Something said.
Yeah, but that's how God works, and when you're tapped in, that's how it works. And that's why I'm saying, like, people can say anything, but I know what happened during that time. Like
because that's your relationship.
Yeah, it's my relationship. And again, like, people say God talked to me. Like, God shows me signs, so I listen, right? And so I just walked past, and I got it. And mind you, my social media was not I'm telling you, I've maybe got 100, 200 at most. And if I got 200 likes on something, I was hyped. Like, oh my gosh, like, right. Yes, and I was just so happy. I got 3 orders a day. Like, when I started getting like orders a day, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like
It's
it was
happening.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
Start feeling like El Chapo.
Yeah, I was just like, what? And spending money like I had no business spending. I'm like, oh, I just got to order. Like, I'm going to go out to dinner.
Natalia out there trapping.
Yeah.
Right.
So, or even like
you
with
buying
Papa.
bottles? You buying bottles?
What? I was buying bottles. Everybody at bar shop. This is when I was partying. Yes.
Yeah.
Doing dumb stuff, flying out here, flying my friends out here. Because, like, when you... anyway... Well, yeah,
that's it.
Right?
That's part of the journey. We want to know that stuff.
I was having a good time.
We was like popping bottles. Yeah.
Okay, I was outside. Okay, and it's nothing for me outside, so I'm in the house now. But yeah, it was just a constant like living paycheck to paycheck. I was like, I got this pop up. I know I can make my rent. So like, let's hustle, right? But yeah, so I did the Parasite cleanse, saw some crazy stuff. And I talked about it, and then boom, like
took off.
And I was like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was like, oh my gosh, can you not like put your poop on like, can you not talk about like, you know, it's just kind of like this like,
because that's so personal.
Yeah,
right?
She's like, what the heck is, and she's like, why aren't you talking about your business? And I'm like, Mom, I have to talk about this. Like, this is what I have to talk about.
Right.
And again, I wasn't making, like, people probably thought since I was popping off on social media, I was making money. I wasn't. First of all, social media doesn't pay you like that. It's the brand, the partnerships that you get that pays you.
Right.
And I wasn't making money. People were not actually, they weren't buying my products, but I was popping off. So people probably
But you had a large following.
Had a large following.
Hold on before you go there, Cole. Let her finish because I know what you're gonna ask. Yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah, ask Cole.
So I think that's kind of where we're at. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people engage, but are they really watching?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like for you, you're like, yeah, like people I got followers, but are they really purchasing my product?
Mm-hmm.
Are they really believing in what I'm actually offering? I think what I want to drill down on is, well, what was that first viral moment where you was like, damn, this is crazy?
I would say when I did a video, I did a sound, and it was like asking something like, why don't doctors talk about parasites or something? And I said like everybody would be healed, something like that, something very like just very conspiracy theory, like, but are we conspiracy theorists, or are we the truth tellers, right? But anyway,
no, absolutely, yeah.
But I said something like that, and it went crazy. That was like the first. I think I went viral in like a span of 2 weeks, and then the other one is like I talked about Eli's pinworms because I started parasite cleansing him, and then all of a sudden, you know, I was in the parasite talk and I was talking about it heavy. I just started getting shadow banned. And then my account started getting taken down, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like I have to find another way. And that was a full circle moment of like, I have so much more to talk about than parasites. Like I have my own skincare brand, right?
But so why do you think you're getting shadow banned? Because you're talking
it's because I'm messing with
parasites.
Big Pharma. I'm influential. Like still to this day, one of my papaya videos that I did is one of the top watched parasite videos on TikTok, like till this day.
And I'm glad you led us to that, because naturally that is the journey. Knowing your background, people knowing your story, how you're trying to reach out to them and help them.
Yeah.
Before I came here, I was talking with my wife, because she's a nurse. She's going to school for her nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to herbalism, apothecary, and those things, I just asked her off the top, like, how do you feel about that? Because we're conditioned to say, hey, when we have headaches, when we need treatment, go to the drug, get the Tylenol, get this and that. You're saying, no, there's natural, God-given things that you can eat, put in your body that was meant for you in order to cure the remedy. I just want to know, like, how was the fight and the struggle into putting your life work and letting people know the truth, I guess? I
mean, it was scary for a while. Like, I think what was more scary is like these like holistic doctors were inviting me to like their private rooms and things like that, and it was just like, whoa. And like you can go into like a really dark rabbit hole, and it's just like you don't want to go there, because at the end of the day, like you want to be solution based, because regardless of how I want to put it, I was fear mongering people, and that's not the way to go, because fear breeds sickness, period, right? As we see. So I had to like really reevaluate the way that I approached health and wellness. And the way that I was doing is the way that a lot of people that are in power that are not good do it. And I didn't want to approach it like that anymore. So I became more solution based. Like I'll sprinkle some sassiness here and there, but it's like, is it worth my life when I can preach the same message,
right, and
be more solution based? Is it worth my family being in danger? Like all these things, right? Because when it comes to the big pharma, regardless of whatever anyone thinks, even when you talk about curing cancer, like you'll see all these holistic doctors and practitioners dying, all like just crazy stuff, or committing suicide. It's just like, you know, what's so beautiful, because this is the year of things being revealed, right? The energy of this year is that. And the beautiful thing, and why I even feel comfortable talking now on it, is because so many people are waking up and talking about it. If you go on TikTok or Instagram, there's so many people talking about the same thing. So now I'm no longer a target, right? Like there's no more.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But again, I can do the same message and then give back to my business, because, you know, now we have a beautiful space and all that with 6 girls, and it's just a great time. But I had to, once my, like literally I would wake up and then my TikTok was down. And then they would not tell me why. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And it was messing with my mental health, because I'm like, I have so many people to help. Then you get all these testimonials of people parasite cleansing, and then like all of a sudden, like all these things, no more issues, no more health issues at all, right? And it's just like crazy. So I just had to like take a step back. And then also what I want to say about nurses and doctors is that, 1, their hearts are in a beautiful place. Yeah. And 2, we need Western medicine. It's just the powers that be are money hungry, and all they care about is money, and they don't care about anyone else. And so if there was a world of like holistic medicine and Western medicine coming together, it would be a beautiful space.
What does that look like?
Functional medicine practitioners and doctors, they're out there. My best friend is one.
But what does that look like specifically? The blend between Western medicine and, you know, alternative medicine coming together to help the people.
Western medicine needs to be at a need-be basis, not every single little symptom. It's like, let your body heal. First of all, you go into a doctor's office, they won't even ask you what's your diet like, what's your sleeping patterns like, what are your habits. They don't ask you any of that. And so that's what that would look like. It would look like, okay, let's give you the base. And if it gets worse, now let's bring in Western medicine. Like, for example, I tried to have a home birth with my child, and I was rushed to the hospital. It did not work for me. I needed medical care. I needed it. But it's like, let it be at a need-be basis, because when you have people reliant on all of these medications and then it costs 20 more, it's like, follow the paper trail. Like pharmaceuticals, they make billions of dollars off of people being sick. So why would they sit there and heal people, right? So it's just like, again, like we need doctors. We need, like, again, if I break my leg, am I going to put some herbs on it? Like, let's be real.
I'm glad you said that,
you
because
see what I'm saying?
no, absolutely,
we
because
need to go in and get some help. Like, we need that.
Because I think, and I'm with you, like what you're preaching is that get away from the money grab of like, hey, forcing drugs on patients. Like if you're really concerned about their health, right? And not all doctors are like that, or you know, et cetera. I won't get into that, but anyway, a lot of what you're talking about is like preventative healthcare.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the beginning, it's like, if you put the right stuff in your body, if you're putting the right stuff on your skin and applying it, you know, as far as cleansing yourself, a lot of the problems that you might be experiencing now, if you're in that state, can be avoided. But to your point, then there is the other aspect of like science of like surgeries, some kind of illness that you may get that might need penicillin or
Once you
whatever
are
it might
sick.
be, once you are sick.
Yeah.
So
So it's
I
like a
hear
lot
you.
of preventative care, and like you even asked me like what are whole foods? It's like things that aren't in a package. Like like it's like
processed,
less
yeah.
processed things. People are drinking like 4 sodas a day on average. Like cut that out alone. Like you'll live a healthier. Like there's so many little things that you can do.
Man, so Natalia, I think for me, let's say, you are sick at this point. Will natural remedies bring you back? And I'm not laying, and I'm just asking your opinion. I'm not laying that totally at your feet. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's a heavy question.
That's what I'm saying. I will like
I'm not
simply answer it.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Now, is it a mixture of what you put in your body and, like you said, your will? Because I heard a real interesting thing. I'm not gonna say interesting, a real powerful statement that Michael Irvin said. He said, like, yeah, we're always worried about our skill, but if you don't deepen your will, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that a mixture of putting the right things in the body and willing myself to get better?
Well, Dr. Robert Morris has a quote, and he literally says there's no such thing as incurable, diseases. There's only incurable people, because they have to want to heal. Their mind has to be right, spiritually, emotionally, physically, right? We always start in the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm manifests in the emotional, and the emotional manifests in the physical, right? So what I will say is if you are proactive instead of reactive, you're going to be at an advantage of most of everyone in America, especially because a lot of other cultures, they're cleansing once or twice a year, or they have these routines or just like these cleansing practices that they're constantly doing, and we lack that in America. I mean, what is it, like pizza, hot dogs, like that's what Americans are known for. Burgers.
I was about to get some pizza after the show.
Fast food.
Yeah, fast food.
No, you're
so
right.
I thought about getting some pizza after the show.
I
mean,
did.
I'm not-
I was like,
I have an 80-20 rule.
when Tal came, I was like, I can't go to Fast Sully's. I can't.
No,
not while
that's
she's
not
here,
what
yo.
and that's also what I don't.
And I can't even
want.
lighten it up with Natalia.
Right.
Right. So I was like, yeah, just give me the cheese and mushroom. Oh, no.
No
The
cheese.
cheese
at all.
carries
80-20.
inflammation,
No.
Yeah.
parasites.
Absolutely.
All the things.
Absolutely.
80%, you do what's right for your body, and like 20%, like again, most people are like 70 like bad, and then 30 okay, but if you do like an 80-20 rule, it's like most of it is like plant-based whole foods, and then the 20% you enjoy yourself, because I love to enjoy life. Like I think even when it goes to really nice restaurants, like I love the art of chefs, and I love tasting different foods from all over the world. I love to travel, all those things, but I'm not going to waste my 20% on like fast food or like not quality food.
Yeah.
You
So-
know?
so-
That is,
Yes,
can I say something real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah.
Because I am, I used to be very stringent in my diet too. And I won't say I'm at the level you are, because you're phenomenal in the way you're killing it. But
Wow,
I
dude.
was more like plant-based, quality foods. But when I did have that cheat day, like I was going to make it count. Like,
Right.
so I'm not going to McDonald's or something. I'm like going to a fine restaurant or something
Mhm.
like that. So that feels good for you to say that, because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, when I cheat, I'm a cheat. Like it's
Right.
gonna be a nice cheat that I'm
Mhm.
gonna enjoy, and it's not gonna be like a quarter pounder or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I did want to ask you is just to go back to, the ubiquitous of how things are starting to spread when it comes to herbal medicine, holistic foods, and things like that. How do you convince? Because I think early in your message, to your point, it was a little contentious, right?
Mhm.
Like combative, like my way or the highway. And I'm just saying this in general. How do you now persuade those that do want to walk the path, but it's hard, and it's not like they could go cold turkey? It's like, no, there's steps to this. Like, how would you guide somebody that's looking to go the same path?
That's a great question because it was my way or the highway. And it's like, I know what's right for you, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's really how I felt. And I would like be just a menace in the household. Like, don't do that. Don't eat this. Oh my gosh. Like, who
Just
wants
crazy.
to be around that? Yeah.
Just
So
crazy.
now, honestly, when it comes to even social media, like I know who's ready because of the type of questions that certain people are asking. And I know who's not ready by the type of questions that people are asking. And so as far as like how I would lead them is like, okay, we're going to start off in this way. We're not going to eliminate anything. We're going to add to. And what your body's naturally going to do is it's naturally going to yearn for those healthier things, because when you're like certain cravings that we have, especially like when I'm doing one-on-one consultations, like one of my first questions is, what kind of cravings do you have? Because now I see like what kind of minerals and certain things like you're deficient at. But what I tell people is, let's add to, right? Before you eat I don't know what people eat. Let's just say Snickers bar, like have a peach or an apple first. And then if you still want to, it's just like making that like mindset switch. So like, let's get you there. But it's like a lot of like healers, which again, all of us have different ways, and it's also beautiful. But it's like when people start diets, like you're 80%, like it's like a 90% failure rate when you start a diet, because you're just trying to cold turkey eliminate all these things. It's like, let's not do that. Let's just add to. And it's like, okay, before you drink that soda, let's have a cup of tea. But you like juice, right? So we're gonna make it taste good. Like our Eternal Glow literally tastes like Kool-Aid, but it's like a natural laxative, but
Right.
it tastes so good.
Wait,
like
what? Your what?
Our Eternal Glow tea. We have an Eternal Glow tea, and we serve it like at all of our get-togethers. It was actually
It tastes
hilarious.
like Kool-Aid?
It literally tastes what it tastes like. Okay, well, I'm not kidding. So, but
got here like
we
Jim
told
Jones.
people
Need some
one
of that.
cup, and people were drinking it, and we got calls like we were on the toilet. It was so funny. I'm like, I'm sorry.
In a collective.
I told y'all, but it
Like
has
a
like,
laxative.
it has like hibiscus, rose hip, lemon, lavender,
I love
things like
hibiscus,
that.
though.
So
Yeah.
we warned them. They just didn't listen. But it's like there's ways to make it good and healthy. And I think when you start giving the people the tools, okay, because people don't want to give up what's good to them or their comfort. And a lot of people have a lot of emotional ties to food.
Yeah.
And so who am I to come in and be like, da, 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 da. It's like, okay, again, solution-based. Let's be solution-based and like, let's work through this. But also like, you're going to have to want to make that change. And it's hard sometimes, like you have to kind of recluse and go into your own little bubble and, be what you need to be, because not everybody else around you is going to understand,
Yeah.
that.
Man, yo, so let's
Yeah,
talk.
go ahead, Cole. I
Man.
gotta just keep talking.
Yeah.
Let's talk about milk. Like I think milk is that hot button question.
Milk.
Milk.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, because you got people doing almond milk, you got people doing oat milk, you got people saying skim milk. What does milk play in the role in this overall, holistic journey? Should we be drinking milk?
That is a hard question. I just think that,
Because the doctor tells you calcium
yeah.
comes from milk. We need the protein, like we need that stuff.
Yeah. It's the way it's processed, one.
Okay.
The way it's pasteurized, processed. You'll have a lot of different, like I like to study what everybody says, right? There's people out there who are like meat and raw milk, right? Grass-fed meat, raw, like all natural, da 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 da. And then you'll have people that are like no meat, no milk, none of that. But then you have to look at the way that it's processed, right?
Okay.
Especially even like you have all the gluten free. Are people allergic to the like are they allergic to the wheat? Or are they allergic to the glyphosate that they're spraying on the crops, right? Like you have to look at those things. And so like right now, some of the farmers, because I know a lot of regenerative farmers and things, and what they're doing is they're making raw milk illegal. And like what they'll tell you is it has all these things, but what it does for some people's bodies is it's able to break down the lactose when it's raw. But when it's pasteurized and heated up and all those things, it processes in the body differently.
Wait, raw milk?
Yeah, raw milk. But like I said, it's like it's different for everyone. That's why it's like so important to intuitively take things on, because I know some people who are really okay with dairy, raw dairy specifically. Like no one is going to be good with glyphosate sprayed wheat crops, or like, the gluten free. It's like they're not allergic to the gluten, they're allergic to the herbicides and the pesticides that they're spraying.
Wait, so where do you get the gluten from?
The gluten is in the wheat. Like, it's like
Is gluten naturally in wheat?
Yeah, gluten's naturally in wheat.
Okay.
Gluten's it's like it's natural, but what they're like, everything's gluten free. It's like, no, it's what they're spraying on those crops, and people aren't linking the two. It's glyphosate. Look it up. It's like the worst. It's Roundup, essentially. It's like the worst possible thing. Even the president in Mexico banned it. And that's what I would really like people to start to study, are like farmers and the way they process things and how it gets from point A to point D, B, all these things, because it goes through a long process, and it's like, it shouldn't be that long of a process, right? That's why when people go overseas to like Europe and stuff,
like,
mind you, like the first
amazing.
thing we eat when we woke up, because I went to Germany and things, is like eggs and cheese and bread. But my stomach wasn't bussing like it was. And my friends that live overseas, they lose like 20 pounds, and they say the food doesn't affect them. They come down here and their stomach is bussing. Like, it's just the process.
So breast to coffee.
What?
The creamer?
Oh,
Breast?
the udder to
Okay.
I got
udder.
you. It flew over
The udder to coffee.
I mean,
that's how it should truly be made.
I said if you're gonna make it that way, but you still should limit dairy, though. You still, like, if you study blue zones, like, they're mostly eating whole food, plant-based meals. That's most of their meals. They're not doing a lot of meat. They're not doing a lot of dairy. It's
and
like
Natalia's so wholesome. She said udder.
Udder.
She did.
Oh my gosh, but it's just, you gotta study these things. You gotta study, like, where are the places in the world? Those are blue zones that people live the longest, and in different places of the world. But what they all do is they all garden. They know exactly where their food is coming from.
Right.
They're all like unconsciously working out from walking or gardening or hanging out with their friends. Like, they're doing all these things, and it's like, we don't do any of those. Like, we just don't. Like, it takes, I don't know, I posted a picture, but it takes like this process to this process to this process, then gets it in the supermarkets. But back then it was like farm to table.
Absolutely.
I'm so, like, I love farm to tables. If you guys ever go to Mexico, Todos Santos, they have the most farm to table. Natalya and I, we all went, and it was like, we ate what we wanted to. And was it bad? Like, did it hurt your stomach? It didn't hurt your stomach. So that's my next thing. It's like a lot of these, and like, I'm not coming for anybody, but a lot of these raw vegan and all they don't farm, they don't garden, and it doesn't irritate me, but it does, because it's just like, if you talk to a lot of regenerative farmers, they're not going to tell you about how you should eat and what you should do. They're going to tell you the practices that you need to start implementing into your life. It's like the whole, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll
live a lifetime. And it's funny you said that, because my wife is here. Shout out to Tish. I had problems with dairy and didn't know it, because I would a heavy milk drinker, like the whole milk, every year without fail, sinus infection.
Yeah.
And the moment I stopped drinking milk, I was good.
Yeah, I can't do it. A lot of black people can't be drinking milk, though. You have to understand the ancestry part of it too.
Yeah.
But how do you eat pound cake? We love us a pound cake.
No, see, that's what. But also, you have to understand,
you take a pound cake off the menu.
Our mentality is like I mean, pound cake, but it's a slave mentality way of eating in the black community, and it's so sad. And they use our food to weaponize us. Understand, neck bones and pig feet, all that. Those are the scraps that they gave us, and we're just so amazing, beautiful, and creative that we made it good, just like we do everything else.
No, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, but I can't do dairy. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if it's raw. I don't care if it's straight from the udder. Yeah, I can't do milk. It's not happening.
Is it because you personally can't do it, or we shouldn't be having it?
No. It's me personally, and that's what I want to get away from, what everybody should be doing, because what's right for my body is not right for yours.
Okay, yep.
That's why intuitively eating, seeing how your body feels after eating stuff, resting in that, It's like the spiritual part of food and the connection too, right?
Absolutely.
I bet something that you grow from your garden is going to serve you better because your DNA and your microbes, all those things are in it, versus if I come and eat from your garden. That's how powerful the soil is. Don't get me started. This is what I'm saying. Don't get me started. You guys
we need
know.
to go.
No, that my wife has us, Tish has us on that of like the best, like when she's gardening, we're not right now because we're just doing things, but when she was, and she'll get back to it, is that it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to your point, I think since we are in America, big business, everything's big business, right? So when farmers are, and I'm not going to say all farmers, but most food that's manufactured is manufactured that way so they can make the most bang for their buck. So they're going to put poison in, those pesticides you talk about, like all that's going to be a part of that process.
Yeah.
Man, so I should not be eating them big-ass turkey legs.
From the turkey hut?
No, I'm talking about when you go to the
fair,
and you get that big ass turkey leg on that in that aluminum foil. I should not be eating that.
If you want to eat a turkey leg, but at least that you're knowledgeable about what it's doing to your body, and that's what most people, they don't know what it's doing. That's why
I'm killing myself.
But
no, I love that you're saying that,
like,
because that's what's wrong with somebody says diet, like I cut it off immediately because it's like
it's a lifestyle.
You explained it. Everybody has different elements of their body and need to be in tune with what they eat, how it makes them feel spiritually, holistically. And that's what I came to find out. In me experiencing different diets, I came to a realization that now I can just look at things and be like, nah, that's not good for me. Or at least I know if I do eat it,
how you're going to feel.
What I'm getting into.
Because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I have this wrong with me, that they're not linking it to the food. It's like,
not at all.
But it's like, it's so the simple answer, right? But like what I, like to your question you asked me, so what is basically like the right way? It's like mostly whole foods, plant-based, and seasonal eating. That is like the one thing I'll stand on forever.
So seasonal means in-season produce. So like right now, what's in season, like the peaches are out of season. And this is why it's so important for you, like for us to indulge in farmers markets, because you'll see what they have. And Natural Grocers is an amazing place, but you'll see what the farmers are bringing back because that's what they grew in the season. So right now what's in season are apples, pears, dates, celery, you just want to make sure that you're eating around the seasons. And one seasonal produce is cheaper as well, but it has more nutrients and more minerals in the produce. Is it because our bodies are wired to eat within season?
Yeah, and also that's what's growing right then and there. So think about it. If I'm eating a pineapple, where the hell is the pineapple coming from?
In February?
Right.
I mean, for real. I mean, if they're growing it, like, I really think that. I'm like, what? I mean, obviously they have them, but it's probably sitting up somewhere and they're spraying the mess out of it for it to stay okay.
Right.
Right? Like,
no,
it's
absolutely.
Just everywhere you grow, they have seeds. So what the heck? I mean, I'm just like, sometimes I just sit down and think. I mean, I might be but I'm like, where are they getting it?
No, you make perfect sense when you say it.
Cranberries are in season. That's why you see like people switch to seasonal scents and seasonal decorations. Let's seasonally switch our food too.
Wow.
You know?
I've never heard it from that perspective. Yeah. Because I'm sitting thinking
this podcast.
Like I'm thinking the pineapple is healthy regardless of when you're eating it.
Well, I mean,
it's healthy.
It's just
no,
like,
it's healthy. It's healthy,
but
your body is wired to eat a pineapple in the summer.
But yeah, and then also to our point is that if, being Colorado, look at the weather, it's like, how are you going to grow peaches at this time, right? So like in order to preserve this peach, you got to put stuff on it and you're eating that to enjoy this peach.
Man, but so convenience is killing us.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Convenience is a killer. But also just to like but if you're not right spiritually, emotionally, it don't matter what you're eating, what you're doing, you're going to be sick. And that's what I want people, like, everybody's so focused on the eating and what should I eat. It's like, do you have a good community around you? Are you exercising? Are you sleeping well? Are you eating right? That's one factor of all the factors that you need to, like, are you holding in your anger? Are you releasing it? Do you have a way of releasing it? Like, are you really holistically taking care of your body. I don't care how you eat. If you are resentful or have anger pent up, you'll be sick for the rest of your life.
So there is a fast for the spirit.
Huh?
So there is a fast for the spirit.
Yes.
So you know, fasting from food is one thing, but then we also should be fasting our spirit as well.
Mm-hmm. And just like building that spiritual muscle, building that emotional muscle. There's so many books on it, and just exposing spiritual. What is Exposing Spiritual? The book that I gave you or sent you, we have it. It like links every spiritual issue to an ailment. Yeah. Essentially, it's by Henry, but it's such a good book to read because it's like, whoa. Like even he gets down like your left breast. If you have breast cancer, your left breast, you're resenting a mother figure or a sister figure in your life. And he's helped people all over the world and forgive them. And all of a sudden they don't have issues anymore. Or like this one lady couldn't even leave her house because she was allergic to everything. And she had the spirit of fear, and he helped her through that. And now she's living her regular life. Right. And so, it's just, Exposing Spiritual Truths. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me. It's an amazing book though. But when you just start getting into like that and just unlearn everything you thought you knew and then relearn everything, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know?
Well, because I want to give you time to talk about Body by Towel.
Yeah.
Because you're doing amazing work there, and you know the products that you sell. I bought some soap.
You did?
Yeah, with the little
the scrubby thingy.
Yeah. I'm a scrubby guy. I'm a loofah now.
So we had this debate.
Oh Lord.
We had this debate at my house one day. It was loofah or towel. Which one do you prefer?
Loofahs, throw that thing away. Everybody listening, throw your loofahs.
I gotta throw it away.
That's a nasty. The way that it harbors bacteria, the way that it's even built is like the whoever made that. I'm giving you the biggest side eye. Like, what the fuck were you thinking with that one? That's how I feel. Loofahs, throw them away. Ew.
Okay.
So washcloths.
I was a loofah guy, but now
I use scrubby hands for my body, and I use the biodegradable, disposable, clean towel wipes, or I do clean washcloth. I never use a same I use a different washcloth every day. And I use my scrubby hands because you can wash them to exfoliate my body. So I do exfoliate my body every day. And then, because think about it, when's the last time you washed your loofah or exchanged it out?
No. I'm a towel.
Okay.
I'm a 3 day towel guy.
I would say like a month.
You're a month, little.
Like she's like 3 months. I hate to break your mouth.
Yeah, I'm out here running dirty.
Yeah.
You know we walk around with holes in our drawers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about we exchange
around here getting it.
I grew up on loofahs. I grew up
I did
on
too.
all of that. I grew up on I don't know. I used to wash my body, and then with that same washcloth, wash my face.
No.
Wash your
I
face.
don't do that.
Right.
I use my hands.
That was just back then. I just didn't. Some people just don't know, and it's not something to be like.
They just don't know, right?
You just don't know, and it's okay.
Education.
And that's why, I feel like some, like you guys are saying, a lot of people are nervous to talk to me because they think I'm like this. Yes, I have my ways, but I'm still just a regular person. I'm chilling. I'm not going to come into your home and your space and judge you. I'm going to love you. If you are ready to receive, that's if you ask, I'll tell. But I stay to myself because I've learned that is not the way to get people, don't ever just force yourself on people. Just allow them to come to you. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the hygiene aspect of all this, because I think we haven't touched on it. Code just pulled up a clip on Instagram.
Deodorant.
Natural deodorant.
Limes.
That's a whole process.
Yeah.
Take people through how you get there.
And please walk them through it, because it's my judgment and I own it. A lot of people want to say, hey, I want to take this whole natural journey. And you kept it 100. You said, look, man, this natural journey is not for the weak.
Right.
Because you walk around some of this natural deodorant, you
smell like onion burgers.
Yeah. You ain't right
You
around
need a
here
little
with
tart.
this
Yeah,
old
you
natural
need tart, man. Just like a
Oh my
Pop-Tart.
gosh.
And you need some aluminum. Some of
Yeah.
these people need some
Somebody
aluminum.
was like, yo, here's the degree, man. This keeps
So
you cool,
some people
too.
need this antiperspirant.
Yeah, it keeps you
Oh
cool,
my
yo.
gosh. It was so, I
I'm
feel
not
like
gonna
such
hold
a
you,
traitor
but you need
'cause
this.
when I was out in the clubs and stuff, I would wear my natural deodorant during the day, but when I knew I was around a lot of people and we're dancing, I would put on, I'm like, hey, can I use some of that? And then the mess started messing with my lip.
Nah, I appreciate that.
This was back then, though.
then.
I never go out
Hey,
anymore.
listen, what she said, boy, when I was in them streets, boy, give me some
Yeah.
deodorant.
I'm like, hey, what
Give
we're
me
not
that
gonna do.
Axe.
I'm not about to smell
Give me
up
that
the whole
degree.
section,
I know, yeah, the speed
'cause
stick.
we're drinking and
Quick.
stuff, dehydrating my body.
Man, that is awesome to tell you.
But I mean, I'll just keep it real. But now, absolutely not. But I think I'll take you guys through it. But first, it's like I get this a lot. I've tried all the natural deodorants, they don't work. So I'm like, is it the deodorant or is it you? Respectfully, right?
Facts.
You have to check.
Facts.
You have
In terms
to.
of what you put in your body.
Yeah, you exactly. Like
Yeah.
if you eat a lot of leafy greens, chlorophyll naturally just detoxifies your body like completely. Yeah. And it's like an internal cleanse essentially. And so that's really great like when you smell, but yeah, like when you switch over to a natural deodorant, like your body was holding in all these toxins and it's going to release it. So I tell people that they're going to go through like a 2-week just like detox process of like just smelling, you know? And it's not for the weak. That's why I tell people all the time, make sure you're properly hydrated. But I just think it's a beautiful way for your body to tell you like, help me. Please, help me. So
If some people go that
That's
easy
funny.
fix, but that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It's all like it is funny because
That's the breaking point.
it's funny because Jay and I were sitting here laughing, and I was showing him your video. I said, "See, it's all fun and games. Wear the little belly beads around your waist, walk around here, be barefoot. Say, hey, I'm gonna go to the natural." You
Not
know,
belly beads.
the
Earthy.
natural,
Yeah.
the natural beautician.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Until them,
Get the
until them
locks.
you get the lock. Hey, until them underarms start really stinking.
Yeah. I mean, you have
Do
that.
you got the willpower
To stick it out.
Yeah.
to stick it out?
Yeah.
Because
no.
that's going to be the breaking
Don't
point.
get the limes. They put the limes up under
And you
there.
have to reapply it like every 2 hours. That's another myth. Like it's like you can't just apply. You know, it's
For
like
one day,
24
or
hours.
like, yeah,
Like no, it's
yeah.
natural deodorant is not that. And that's what I'm saying. It's like if you take the holistic route, you absolutely have to be okay.
It's like lip balm,
with-
right? Like you got to keep.
Yeah, you just have to like go slow and love the process. And again, it's different, but it's just like we can control what we can control. We have a lot of outside pollutants, but if we can control what we put on our skin,
Right.
our skin is the largest organ. Everything is absorbed through our bloodstream. Like 80% of what we put on our skin is absorbed into the bloodstream. So we're like voluntarily poisoning ourselves. Like Bed Bath and Body Works, that used to be my stuff. Sweet pea,
Mm-hmm.
I used to love it.
Yeah.
And now if I go to I just can't, like the smell of it just gives me like the worst. But you just don't even know what's making you like sick. Like you don't know what's making you sick. So I'm just here to educate and to empower
Okay.
and to really just like be on this journey with everyone, because I'm still on my journey, you know, and I just want to empower people that like I had to start somewhere too, right?
Right.
So I don't want to discourage people. It's like, oh, it's like a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
I know. So
Got it.
people can't be out here eating chili dogs and think you gonna throw some natural deodorant, think you gonna be smelling good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you can't be drinking soda.
Stay away from the glizzies.
Can't be going
Yeah,
out
you out here
every
eating all these glizzies and think
weekend
you gonna be
and-
smelling good.
Yeah, no. Like even when it comes to just like weed and all that, like it dehydrates the body, so therefore you're gonna probably stink too. Like there's
Let's
a lot
talk-
of things.
so
Do I have to get rid of my Creed cologne? Yeah, see, you gave me that look. Like, yeah, you gotta get rid of the
just
cologne
go see
too.
what that does to you as like your manhood, first of all, and then just
cologne?
go research it for me.
Cologne? Wait,
Okay,
no,
I'll do that.
no, wait. So cologne does something?
Chat
to your
GBT it up.
So cologne does something to your manhood?
What?
Let's talk
All
about
your
it.
hormones. No, it's not talking about. I want you to do your research. It's so important. This is what I'm saying. You have to check everything. You need to check the label. First of all, when you buy that expensive cologne, do you ever see the ingredients? It
You
says
don't.
fragrance. That's
It
like
does.
fragrance is the key word for 800 ingredients that we don't know what the fuzuck it is. We're just gonna put it all together and make it smell
Natalya, you're
good.
talking to middle-aged man. We need to know.
I'm telling you. Also, y'all be putting too much on to begin with, smelling up the whole room. That's not how you
So
do
with
it.
3 sprays?
No,
No, I just do one
just
spray, walk into
one.
it.
If you're gonna do it, don't poison us with that stuff. It's poison. It's straight poison, by the way. I'm not kidding.
Spray and mist.
Now you scared me, Natalya, because I have cologne.
Yeah, it's
I'm a
poison.
middle-aged man, and you're telling me.
Yeah, I want to smell good, but
Yeah, it disrupts your hormones.
okay, I'm with you.
Poisons
I'm with you.
you. Just look it up. Look what it does to you.
No, my Tish is on that too. So yeah, she's getting me on the
Yeah.
natural deodorants at least.
Yeah, all the
So-
natural stuff.
And I'll be nervous
Look,
out
he's
there in
like,
them
I'm
streets.
not gonna stop wearing
Nah,
it.
I be-
Tish,
I be
Tish
natural.
got it. You know what? I've dropped it down forever. Like for the longest, I'll do aluminum free.
What?
I don't
Oh,
deodorant.
deodorant.
That's better. That's
I'm not
better.
ready to go full. What is it? Native?
Yeah, native is not. I would not recommend native
See,
though
you
either.
see,
don't know.
you see what I'm
But
saying?
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not. It's like, okay, here are the list of things that aren't good, but also like keep it so simple. Keep it so simple. Like coconut oil is naturally deodorizing, or you can do like the little salt spray. We make our own deodorant as well.
No,
And we
let's
put a
talk
lot of
about
like
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we make we make about everything. But yeah, it's just like you have to educate yourself on, okay, these are the things that are really toxic for us, not only for us but the environment.
Yeah.
And here are the things that are like okays, right? And the more simple, like if you can't pronounce most of what's on that label, like it's a no.
Got it.
Like automatically, it's like why is there so many things on this label? Like a lot of like if you look at our products, it's like I don't think we use more. I think the herb ones are like the longer ones because all the herbs that we put in there, but you won't find more than like 6-8 ingredients on there.
Wow.
Well, I'm not gonna hold you because I had a problem pronouncing apothecary, so
Yeah,
I
it's
might
okay,
not,
it's
I might not
okay.
be the right dude.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But so you did bring gifts.
yeah.
Tanya, can you bring some of those back so we can show it on camera of like what you brought us?
And I was like,
Yes.
Antonio, can you stop at the shop? Because I was getting dressed. I was like, oh, do not have time. Dang.
I feel all
Absolutely.
special, man.
Yeah.
You guys
There
don't
you
get
go.
gifts?
No, we do.
Yes.
We have
Oh,
had
yeah,
gifts.
yeah. I
Yes.
love
Come on,
gifts.
gifts.
I thought there was a third person, so
Oh,
this is for him.
Yes, Damo. It's
They know
Damo.
that
Yeah.
he don't need one.
Ooh,
He's
body butter. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
glistening.
oh, this is what the crackheads was stealing.
Yeah.
yeah, the body
Yeah,
butter.
let's get that body butter.
What was in it? They,
Oh, little
they was
goes a
stealing
long
this.
way.
That
No, this
crack
is
make you
awesome.
ashy, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
You can smell it.
But that crack make you really ashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lip balm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say it has a citrus smell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That one's wild citrus. That's like one of our top selling ones, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, people love that one. I know we're going into, but that's a good one to have.
Man, so Natalia, I
Body
think
love by Tao.
Mm-hmm.
so I think for me, like, we already know what your passion is, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you want to, like, what's something unique to you that you would like the masses to know?
That's such a weird, uncomfortable question.
Oh, okay.
I don't
What-
know. No,
have to
I don't
answer?
know. Like, I want to be, I want to be a vessel for God. Like,
Okay.
I just want to do the work that I'm supposed to do here.
Okay.
So if anything, it's like I will be that light in a dark space for people. I hope to be,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, that's how I feel.
This
That's awesome.
this
Yeah.
podcast, bussin' bussin'.
Last question. So do you do bath sounds? Am I saying that right, Tish? Is it bath sound?
Oh,
sound
bowl
bath
healing.
Sound bath
Yeah,
healing
I
and
love
stuff like
it.
that. Do
The
you
frequencies?
do you offer that?
No,
Okay,
that'd be
okay.
so cool.
Sound bass. What is that?
Sound bath. It's like different bowls, different hertz, like
Oh,
healing,
okay.
healing sounds, healing vibrations. Essentially, that's why I was telling you, like, I don't listen to secular music anymore because the vibrations are. I mean, it's like scientifically proven that it's making
too low.
us sick. A lot of the music is making us sick.
Those
Just the
808s.
message, the rap
Yeah.
music, all that. But I mean, honestly, like I'm just calmer, and I now feel the difference. So I just I can like get a little jiggy here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I just like my calm music, and I see a difference in even Eli. He's like my son. He's super calm when I play certain music. So, yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, this is the last question we have for you in the spirit of Uncle Damo. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great
Good time. Good.
I hope you
Did
guys.
you guys have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the
Thank
audience.
you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming, but I
Absolutely.
really hope you guys come to our shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We would love for you guys to come. We're in Parker, and yeah, we make a whole bunch of skincare, and we have a lot of herbs. We have over 65 organic skincare products and over 175 organic herbs, and so we
Tell people all your socials, addresses,
Oh,
all that good stuff.
At 1040, what is our address? I don't know, but we just moved it. We just got it April, and my directions is so bad. But we're in Parker off of South Progress Way, and then all of my socials. It's on my social, like in my handle, but it's Body Love by Tal. It's all across the board: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I post a lot of like health tips and holistic healing tips there. Yeah. What else? I guess that would be it. We'll be hosting classes. But yeah, we'll be doing a lot of work, in the future. And like, honestly, Body Love by Tal is a vessel to like the bigger things that we're going to be doing to really help people be, self-sustainable and just giving back to the community in a lot of ways. So we're really excited for what's to come. And shout out to my mom, shout out to my team.
Yep.
And my support system, because honestly, like, we have just amazing. I just want to shout them out though. It's like Tanya, then we have Kim, then we have Tinkerbell, Lauren, Kirsten, and those are the girls that make up Body Love by Tal, including my mom. Everybody's helping, and so just a lot of love to them as well. And yeah.
Nice.
Had to shout them out,
Absolutely.
My people.
That's the foundation. That's the community.
Oh, yeah, it's 10470 South Progress Way, Parker, Colorado, 801.
There it is. There it is.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Apothecary and bakery.
Well, I was going to ask you, who would you think would be a good guest to come on this.podcast?
I think that Javon Taylor, the owner of Green Spaces, and Josh, they say we in this mode. Josh.
Yep.
Yeah, he's everywhere, and I know him personally, and he is. First of all, I know both of them personally. Javon, amazing human, visionary.
He seems like a good guy.
He is honestly the reason why I got into a lot of like pop-ups downtown and stuff. He brought me into this space. And I will forever be grateful for him. And just anytime I need business talk, anytime I need someone, Josh has always been there too. But I just love how motivated and creative, and he's like really a hustler. Who else? I think you should absolutely have my mom on here, Karen Ekubon. She's doing a lot of philanthropy work out in Boley, Oklahoma, one of the last standing historically black towns.
Wow.
And she got the Smithsonian to come there.
Really?
She's phenomenal. So yeah, she's here.
Okay.
Yeah, she got the rodeo. She got the bid for the rodeo, so she will be. Y'all should come to Oklahoma. It's like the one of the biggest black rodeos.
Is it bigger than the Bill Pickett rodeo here?
Oh no, I don't think it's different. It's different.
Okay.
That one's a lot more. It's amazing. That one's a lot more organized.
Okay.
And again, I think this time around, like the way that she's about to do it is about to be amazing. So yeah, she built a community garden down there, and Body Love by Tal is a sponsor for the town of Boley and the Boley Rodeo. So I just want to give a big shout out to that. But those are like the people that come to mind. I think Bree, the owner of Black and Blossom, she was hustling with me in those pop-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a list.
You got a list? We'll hit you up.
I think Chloe, the owner of Kawasi, like a lot of just like the local businesses, Kawesi, I think that's how you pronounce it, but just a lot of Okay, actually, I forgot a huge person. I'm sorry. This is the last one. Netsie. She is a doctor now, but she's a holistic doctor, and her specialty is autism, and she was able to. They told her that her son would be diapered, and now he's like top of his class and like basically dealing with like gut health and parasite cleansing and heavy metal. That's actually how we met, and I think she would be an amazing person, and especially like just people that look like us in the healing space, because there's not a lot of people that look like us. And I'll give you guys that list, but I think those are the people I surround myself with, and they're just amazing entrepreneurs and amazing people.
Got it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
First of all, shout out to the audience for coming by. Yeah.
Thank you.
Natalia King, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely. Oh, man. And you never stumble upon the unexpected. Do y'all hear that? Or is that just me?
No, I hear it.
What is that? Anyway, you never stumble upon the unexpected if you stick to the familiar. So
Get cleansed.
Get cleansed. Change your loofah out there, y'all, okay?
Oh,
Make sure you
stop
get
that,
rid
man.
of it. We out.
Thank you.